back to Popcorn and Plot Holes, where we watch facts movies for our pleasure or your pleasure. No one's sure if there's any pleasure.
No, their pleasure.
And I got weird fast, as is tradition. This week we watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
It's the new one. What is it? Mutant Mayhem. That's the title. Full
Everybody.
title.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in a half shell. Turtle power.
Heroes in a half
Heroes
shell.
in a half shell. I'll fix it in post. We'll be cool.
Yeah,
we'll all be real cool.
Here,
In post.
use this in post. Heroes in a half. I screwed up. We'll fix that in post.
Turtle power.
Turtle power.
Run.
Ghost power.
No.
Too soon. Too soon. Too soon. Oh my God! So we watched the Seth Rogen vehicle.
I don't think this movie can be described as that.
Why not?
Yeah.
He's barely in it.
He wrote it.
Well, he wrote
Yeah.
it. He directed it.
He produced it.
Doesn't
He did not
vehicle
direct it.
usually mean it's to make an actor?
Hey,
Bigger?
listen, it's my
Okay.
podcast,
Okay.
and it's
Moving
where
on.
I say
it's
it
not.
is.
I think that's my best host Matt impression. Moving
That
on.
that was way too energetic for me.
Yeah, no, it's you gotta you take all the energy and life
Oh.
out of your voice.
Oh,
Do you want to try again?
moving on.
Deader.
Better.
There you go.
Deader.
There you go.
More dead.
More dead.
More dead inside.
No.
What did you just have? 5 espressos? That's way too much energy. There it is.
Oh no. That was Gary Busey's same movie.
Oh, no.
Damn it.
Don't use his name.
I
His
wasn't.
name.
I wasn't.
Alright.
I
Anyway,
usually
wasn't
speak
channeling.
a little louder. As dead as that, but a little louder, so you can hear some of the
true.
words.
It's-
Not all of
it's
them.
true.
Just
Because Matt's a professional dead inside podcaster.
a professional. Turtle power. We should talk about this movie. It is the Seth Rogen vehicle. Evan Goldberg, his writing partner, as well as Jeff Rowe, the writing partner. Jeff Rowe also directed with Kyler Spears. I'm always fascinated when you need multiple directors for a animated movie.
It's so weird.
It's awesome. You see it a lot.
There's like the 400 directors for Into the Spider-Verse. Well, because it's Lord and Miller are not directing, but are producing, but kind of are directing. And there's 2 other guys that yell at everybody they're doing it wrong and make them change it all the time. I don't know who those 2 guys are.
Sounds like an executive director.
Who knows?
Has Jeff Rowe done anything I know?
Let's click on his name at IMDb and find out. This is the best kind of podcasting.
Dirty Jobs.
He wrote Mitchell's versus the
Jobs.
Machines.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, he wrote on
was
Gravity Falls and he wrote on Disenchantment. So he's
Okay.
got a
so
decent
he's
there
track
you go.
record.
Animation guy.
There you go.
Yeah, yeah. So he's got some chops. He also acted in 2 things. This movie, he was the man who loves being young and free to go places.
What?
That's what it says.
Okay.
Man who loves being young and free to go places voice. And then he was man who loves fun in Mitchell's versus the Machine.
Okay. So he's always man who does something.
Sorry, I got to change this. And this is the Jeff Rowe vehicle, clearly.
Yeah, obviously.
That's
We
my bad.
apologize.
Yeah,
to Jeff Rowe
we
and co.
apologize to Jeff Rowe's family. Thank you, Chris. Let's talk about this movie specifically. What do you guys think of this movie? What was your favorite part of this movie? And why was it Ray Fillet?
Ray Fillet. Ray Fillet.
Stop singing, Ray.
Just speak
sorry.
normal.
Ray Fillet.
Yeah.
For me, I think the scene that I liked the most was April recounting her puke incident, and not the puking itself, but everybody else's reactions, just in slow motion. The kids in the cafeteria, one pouring like milk and like all falling to the floor. Everybody just looking aghast. I laughed way too hard at that. I don't know why, but probably one of my favorite parts.
My favorite part was after they had shook down several gangsters trying to work their way up to Superfly, and then April's like, none of that is helpful, but then they were like vibing and going into their different impressions and trying to wear different personas and stuff, and they were just like being funny, being teenage brothers who were being quirky and stuff like that. And even though she told them like, listen, I can't use any of this, they're just like, we
Yeah, continue doing it. Yes.
And
Yeah,
it
Bacon,
felt,
egg, and cheese. Bacon, egg, and
Bacon, egg,
cheese.
it was perfect.
Bacon, egg, and
Yeah,
cheese.
yeah, I love that
just
part too.
in their own way, being themselves together. That was beautiful. That was my favorite
Hey,
part.
those Toitos are all right. I'm a cabbie from the Bronx.
I was actually going to mention they did that a lot is where they let all four of the turtles talk over
Yes.
each other, and it happened multiple times, and I'm like, this is so good. Like it's so much happening, but it's like I love that they did that, and they did it multiple times, and it really made them feel like actual brothers. Because they're all talking at the same time. It's like you can't really hear; you just hear odd words here and there. But it just was great energy.
I appreciated how Splinter basically nailed humanity in a nutshell when he's like, I can't. What did exactly he said when he's like just explaining humanity, like they're a plague or they're like the worst thing ever.
Yes.
Something like they hate what's different and then they kill it or whatever.
Are you talking about
Yeah,
the
very,
mantra
like,
that was burned into the
poignant.
boys' brains when they're in the first part?
Yeah.
Oh boy, we're gonna need to pull that up. But yes, it was something. All right.
It was apt.
It was on
Yeah.
point. Buying time.
And,
So this
and
was
then
the story.
Yeah.
and then they capture you and milk
Yes. Yes. You know, the ancient Mayans used to call corn
Oh, no.
maize. And
Wait,
if we
was it the
draw
Mayans? Wasn't it the Aztecs?
correlation, you're
You
right.
could just talk about other aspects of this movie while I look this up. You don't have to
What?
go into fucking maze.
The what now?
The Teenage Mutant Ninja
So I
Turtles
believe
Mutant Mayhem movie.
I believe the turtles called corn maize, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you would be right, Professor Spencer.
Well, thank you very much.
You're-
Funny facts.
Yes.
But yeah, I liked Splinter overall, and I was pretty surprised that he was Jackie Chan. I did
Why?
not know.
Oh.
I didn't know. I didn't recognize his voice. Usually, I'm pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
but I only recognized Seth Rogen,
Mm-hmm.
Paul Rudd, and who's the other one?
John Cena
Ice
or
Cube, I hope.
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube?
Ice Cube's
Yeah.
pretty. And M1 Carlo Esposito.
It's funny that Giancarlo Esposito was used so like I think when he was supposed to be Baxter Stockman. I'm like, and I saw Baxter become all right. So we saw Baxter, and then I expected Baxter Stockman to come back, and he just never
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
He basically cameoed for like
this
3
is
lines.
This is a solid cameo.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that's it. Yeah.
I found the quote.
Oh,
just so
did you?
we all-
Oh.
I
And
did.
we're
Thank
back.
you for vamping. And we're vamping. Humans are the demon scum of the earth. Avoid them. Don't say hi. They lust to murder that which is different from them. To interact with them is to die.
Snap.
To interact with them is to die.
Snap.
Words of
That
wisdom from
Snap,
Master
snap,
Splinter.
snap.
On point, Master Splinter.
Wow.
Well said. Well said.
Tutelage was received.
It's interesting that Jackie Chan played Master Splinter. I think, Luciano, you mentioned pointing out like once you knew Splinter was Jackie Chan when he started fighting in the milk
yeah.
machine, right? You realize that like that's completely Jackie Stan's like
Yeah, I love that
fighting
part.
style, which is a really cool touch.
Avoid and use your elements and environment to your advantage.
Yeah, and when it started, it was very slight. Like in the first few moves, I was like, "Oh, they're not gonna do this," and then it just escalates like full on Jackie Chan shenanigans. I loved it.
They should have ended the movie with like Splinter doing stunts and like failing, and like all of his like wipeouts.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
And it's like cut. And, like he's like getting all the grease.
Yeah. Bandages on his tail.
What was your favorite part, man?
Was
it the-
It was
the quote?
It was the quote of
Okay,
hate that took us 9 hours to get.
The
Yeah.
quote of hate.
Perfection.
The
Distilled.
quote of hate
All right.
is now
All right, all
burned
right.
into all of our brains. I'll snip it in post and just play it over this again for everybody.
I also loved the soundtrack. All of it. All of
That
it.
was actually I was gonna say that the first opening of the movie, first 5 minutes, I thought that's Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross because I'm
No, you didn't.
I swear to God,
No, you fucking.
swear on my life, I'm a I am a diehard Nine Inch Nails fan, and Trent Reznor
You recognize it from soundtrack
right away
Okay.
because he has a very unique style.
I will admit to Spencer and I sing Nine Inch Nails songs, traveling back from golf. Just exactly what you expect two white people to be doing.
after a quick 18 on the phone, and a quick 18 out on the boondocks. Shall we listen to some Nine Inch Nails on the drive home?
Oh, yes, indubitably. That would be great, sir.
Let's get angry like the poor folk do.
Oh, we're poor. So.
We're poor. Oh, Rage Against the Machine, am I right, boys?
Oh.
Willie,
Yeah,
are we
that's how
back
Spencer
yet?
knows.
Willie's my driver.
Okay. All right. I was surprised when I saw his name on the credits.
That's because you're a fool.
But I did. I'm just not a Nine Inch Nails fan, but yeah,
Well, you are now.
the soundtrack was pretty good.
Fucking soundtrack was banging the whole time.
Damn
I'm like,
right.
this is so good. There was only one misstep in the whole movie, and that was the moment when they threw the thing in the blowhole of the bad guy.
Okay.
It wasn't the music's fault. It's just that the music was playing, and it should have had like a and like a big like slow mo throw because they just kind of throw it in. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it's just kind of very
They did
nonchalantly.
just throw it in. It wasn't a climax that matched any kind of music or whatever. Mm.
Like, yeah, I thought it was like oh, they did it. It should have been like the last throw was like
And like,
anyways,
perfectly
No,
matching.
thanks.
In this movie, it's Cowabunga Brosen, according to Paul Rudd, because that's when he coins it when they're playing when they're bowling.
Brosen?
Brosen. Yeah.
Mm.
Damn.
Abracadabra.
I would.
Damn, that
The movie
that
hooked me
bastard.
music wise. When they were again shaking down the different gangster spots, and then it was just like No Diggity and Blackstreet, and just like the beats and just like the way they would cut back and forth with each turtle, and then each turtle do the same thing. But like they built that their team momentum and like beat down.
Yeah, that montage was sick.
It was really, really good, and they chose a really great song to help drive that portion. So hats off to that.
Yeah, Trent Reznor sang No Diggity like
That was not
just
him.
really nailed it.
Motherfucker.
What?
Put some respect. It's Eddie Riley's name, motherfucker.
Huh?
You put some respect on Dr. Dre and Queen Pen's name.
Nah, I'm pretty sure that was Nine Inch Nails.
Get the fuck out. Kick him. Boo this man. Boo.
Yeah, that was a great scene. I've never seen that montage like that where they're kind of like cutting from the guy. They're all doing the same movements.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, get them, and it's cutting between all the different, from the bald guy to the toupee guy, all hair focused for some reason.
I felt personally attacked,
Oh shit. Hold space.
As
Hold
you
space.
as I should. Wow. Okay. Thanks.
F in
for all
the
that hurt.
F in the chat for Matt's hair. Comment down below.
Wow, just hurtful. What did you guys think of sort of changing? So maybe Chris, you're the comic book nerd of the group. I wasn't expecting things like April O'Neil to be a teenager in high school, and for them to have Bebop and Rocksteady hanging out with Superfly. Is that completely reimagined, or is that just like a different version of the story that someone's written in comics over the years?
I think there are two parts of it, and I haven't read a lot of the original Eastman and Laird comics, so I'm mega blurry. But originally, April O'Neil, the only accurate thing that I learned was that she was originally black, and then they changed her.
Really?
Yeah.
For the cartoon?
For the cartoon.
Oof.
So
Wow. Fuck the
I am
fucking
shocked.
80s and 90s.
I am shocked.
80s so white.
We don't have the color black in our we don't have that pencil crown.
yeah, we don't know how to
Yeah, they
Yeah. I didn't know that.
fucking racist 80s.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing cocaine. No, she's gonna be a hot white chick, okay? Yeah, we're gonna be rich.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh. Thanks.
Yeah.
Spencer?
Nope. That was 80s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Cartoon Network
There you go.
owners.
I hear that.
Okay.
I do hear that. What was the original question? So I can.
Wow.
No one
It
knows.
just broke Chris's brain. No, it's just like were the changes that were,
In high school.
were written into the movie. April being in high school, April being black from
That
the
one.
cartoons he was watching in the 80s, Bebop and Rocksteady hanging with Superfly versus just being, guys to handle with Shredder. I mean, they obviously, spoiler alert, teased Shredder at the end of the movie, and him being like a hitman for
the most telegraphed stinger of the history of space and time.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, was that I wasn't expecting that, and so I'm wondering if that is like Seth Rogen and Jeff Rowe and Evan Goldberg's like creativity at play, or is that something that's in the comics?
Yeah,
somewhere?
I wish I could creatively lie about it, but honestly, I am not. I feel like it's mostly
wrong.
It's mostly the creative team.
Yes, and
yes,
Chris.
I am not going to creatively lie.
And make up facts.
Yes, and I don't know.
Not going to creatively lie because I want to respect the material.
Do you guys know if Superfly was a comic book character?
It was. Again, I don't know.
I never heard of it.
I
But
don't know.
I never read the comics. All I know of like I watched a lot of the cartoon, but I never read any of the comics. So I was very surprised when Bebop and Rocksteady kind of like immediately turned on Superfly.
Yeah, when they turned good. I thought they were going to be the two that stuck with him.
That's what I thought as well. Yeah. Which honestly, I liked that it wasn't like super by the numbers. Like, oh, they're gonna have to fight through the minions to get to Superfly. Blah, blah, blah.
Superfly.
That was all actually.
I would have liked a little bit more fighting at the end because they didn't really do any kung fu at the end to like show their hero
Superfly
status.
is an original character for this movie. That's one thing. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Okay.
He was awesome.
Really interesting, sort of like a spiritual homage to animated Baxter Stockman turning into a fly, but yeah, for this, no.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was so cool when they introduced him. And he's like,
Yeah.
Superfly, and it's like playing like funky like hip hop and stuff. I was like, oh, this character's dope. Like right from that first word, I was like, I'm really into this.
And fucking like Ice Cube is like he can be so intimidating.
Yeah.
Even just the voice is like, holy shit, I'm scared of this fly right now. It's
yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally agree.
very impressive.
When he was like, when they first said, they're like, what if we're not totally bored with this plan?
Shit, man.
And he's like,
he stops and he
like,
turns.
well, I'm
and
gonna
he
have to
goes,
stomp you punks. He just like turns around and you're just like, oh shit, this guy's intense. For an animated fly, this guy scares me.
This is true. Yeah.
So brand new creations. Good. Honestly, I thought it was really inspired choice. Since we're just talking about the movie in general here, I would like to then drive this bus off a cliff and ask questions about why the movie went south at about a quarter left point, where Superfly's plan fails, and it gets really like, I understand it's the city coming together to embrace the turtles, but it gets over the top hokey and like lovey in like a cringy way.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't find it cringy. I'm such a sucker though.
It's a little cringy, like that whole montage of them carrying the stuff, like the little MacGuffin that's gonna kill Superfly.
That did remind me a lot of
Endgame?
in Spider-Man.
In Spider-Man.
Remember in Spider-Man, the original Sam Raimi one?
In that one.
When he's like, the
Because they did
goblin,
the same thing.
the guy throws it. This is New York. You mess with one of us. You mess with all
they
of
did the
us.
same thing
It's like,
in
okay, relax.
In Andrew
So a
Garfield
little
as well.
cringy, not too much, but a little.
Yeah, but it was more earned in this movie because like the whole theme was them being accepted, whereas that wasn't really the theme.
Everybody
of Spider-Man.
wanted acceptance.
Yeah, but like, you don't have like to me it just felt like there's, I understand it's a movie and they want to like things are a bit brighter so that you get the point, but this one was just like they shoved it down our throats for like the last 15 minutes of the movie. Every single opportunity in page and corner was just like, Yeah, all right, I got it. Like people who don't hate the turtles.
We're not the demographic for this.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We watched it. All movies should be directed at 43-year-old white males.
And
Oh no,
that's us. This movie was made for me.
And black males
yes,
too.
So yes, of course.
oh my god.
Yeah,
That's it.
That is all. Literally, yeah. It's like they're like weeks. Here, let me help you up. You know, it's like, oh, that's good. It's subtle. He like helped them. One guy like helped them show they're not all bad. It's like, oh, hey, what's that hero? He's a good guy. And then it's like, just progressively gets like, we love the turtles. It's like, kiss me, turtles.
Yeah.
Suck my dick.
Suck my baby. Suck my baby.
Yeah, it just gets like, does get progressively more and more.
Schlocky.
Like, put a baby in me.
Hey Spencer,
Jesus Christ. What movie did you watch, dude?
Give me a turtle hybrid.
Back to the movie. So you guys didn't. I think we got a 50-50 split on it being too hokey on the ending. We were just like, you were happy with the movie all the way through. Like you saw no, like obviously we're going to talk about plot holes in a minute. I'm not asking that question, but like, was there anything that like bothered you, or was like that's a weird choice in the movie?
The only thing I thought was a little weird. It's not bad. It's just weird. Is how much they kind of not forced, but they insisted on putting certain like slang that is very sort of like niche right now, that everybody knows now. But if someone watches this movie in like 5 years, nobody's gonna understand it, or is gonna cringe because
you don't know what
slang.
Just because you don't know what Riz is doesn't mean
I know what Riz and Sus are.
Oh yeah,
but like
you do. What is Riz short for?
This is what you don't have.
What's Riz short for?
Is.
That is true. But anybody? Yeah. I'm teaching the audience something.
Charisma.
Charisma.
Yeah.
Damn, Matt's cool like me. We hang out with the kids.
We sing Nine Inch Nails on the way back from golf like the kids do.
Like the kids do on our yachts.
Yeah. I just thought, like, I understand why, because it's like teenagers and obviously they're using like time appropriate, but I thought they went a little bit too hard on it.
All right, old man.
Yeah, exactly. Old man yells at clouds.
It's just dating the movie. That's the only problem.
Who cares? The movie's supposed to be fun now, not fun in 10 years.
When they look back at this film and
they remember
years,
that
they'll be ridiculous.
No, but what, like when I watch 80s movies now, I cringe. I was like, oh fuck, did I really speak that way when I was a teenager?
Were you a teenager in the 80s?
No, I was a kid.
How old are you?
Wow.
54.
Back in my day, we used to say, I'm trying to think of an old time.
We used to walk in the snow for 5 days before we could reach the school.
Oh, I got it. We used to say, gee willikers.
That's accurate.
Worth it.
I love how he laughed at his own joke and only he did.
I couldn't even get it out without laughing. So you know it was bad.
Spencer's having a great time. I don't know about the rest of us.
I was just gonna say, I think the ups and downs in the last leg of the movie, where like, you know, Superfly already turned into a kaiju, and then the rest of the mutants banded together, and they're like, okay, we're going to go do this and get this thing done, but then it all backfires, and then it hit another low. I think. For me, I mean, I think your point around it becoming too schlocky is valid. For me, in the moment, that low point when they were being painted with a darker brush because of the perception in the news at that moment, it was low enough for me to actually worry that they wouldn't be able to change any perception, and then.
I thought that's what was going to happen.
They would learn, they would learn Splinter's lesson, and it would like maybe go off on a medium dark note and leave room to do what they've always done. But then when it turned around and went down the direction that they did, ultimately letting them go to high school and stuff like that, I was okay with it. So the middle point you're talking about between the low point and when they go to high school, or rather the low point and beating the kaiju, when the New Yorkers helped them, it did feel a little too much, because I'm like, when this one like hot dog vendor was like, step back, I got this. And like he's like running,
Yeah.
like running like I thought he was gonna like
For a
die.
second, I thought you were saying hot dog.
Maybe.
Hot dog.
I thought he was. They would have cut to a reaction on his face, like I'd bitten off way more than I could fucking chew. No, boy steadily carried the football, and then it just kept going. That section was a little too much until the turtles got it back, like got the MacGuffin back again. So I could see that, but I was on the roller coaster. They had me, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, I actually, just to add, because that was my one critique as well. Like, I thought the movie was good all around. Like I said already, I would have liked to have one big hero moment where the turtles are like the last one standing against the bad
That
guy.
would have been iconic.
And then
It's like the New Yorkers help
to
get them, 60% of the way down the field, but the turtles have to turtle it up to get the other 40%.
Yeah, not just like throw the thing next to him, but actually like. And I was trying to think of how they're going to like fight this thing, but
No, they couldn't even fight him when he was like in normal size. Yeah.
but even if they just like work together to like outthink him or like set a trap, that's just where good writing comes in. But I'm not that. But I would have liked a moment like that where they're like the last ones, seemingly like they're gonna lose, and it's like no, they're, and then everyone's sort of like watching them, and it's like this big heroic.
Agreed. There was the moment that I thought that it was going to come down to the MacGuffin going in the kaiju blowhole. Superfly disintegrates and becomes previous Superfly, and then they fight him like 4-on-1 and take him down in that piece you're talking about.
That would have been. I think that would have worked really well too.
Thought was coming.
That's
to be
a good
honest.
call.
But
But then it wouldn't have made a lot of sense because prior they needed all four of them plus all of the other mutants to even push Superfly into the
Yeah, but
machine.
that's
I'm
all
sorry,
nonsense.
sir.
They just
What-
they stepped up.
Yeah, what part of this movie made sense and logic to you?
Yeah,
Why now do we
fair
need
enough.
logic?
How many movies do you see the main guy get his ass beat only to come back and beat the villain? It's like every
Literally
every movie. So I think that people would have suspended their disbelief and realized they just stepped up their game and worked as a
That's
team.
fair.
So far, just so I understand, your complaints about this movie is the lingo is too hip and cool,
Yes.
and the ending can't make too much sense.
No. It made more sense than what they're suggesting.
Right, our new
Nice try. Nice try.
Oh, I almost
You're not
trapped
gonna
him.
pin this one
I
on
almost
me.
trapped him.
And,
Damn.
and his third point. Why was there so many colors in this picture? It was so confusing on my eyes.
No, that was also you. Nice try again.
No, you said, what is this? I wish they made it like with real people. These are cartoons.
What? No, I didn't say
Cartoons
any,
came before fucking real movies.
Shut up, Spencer.
You're the worst old person ever.
I'm just digging for gold.
Are you 54? Did you live your teenage years in the 80s? If not, maybe you should stop.
I'm Luciano. I was born in 1871.
That's not old enough.
That's
Not old enough.
It's a teenager in the 80s.
I mean, barely. Like,
I was
all I
born in
count.
1969.
It's not old enough.
There you go. That's just 2 years. But okay.
It's enough.
My name is Luciano.
if only
I was
Bane-
born in the darkness, molded by it, and
Thank you. That's exactly where I wanted to go.
I was born in the dark. Molded by it.
Moving on, plot holes. We're past Geezer Bane, and we're Geezer Luciano Bane.
Oh no!
Geezer Bane.
You cannot kill Geezer Bane.
do you feel?
He is forever part.
Do you feel in control of your bowels?
Because I'm incontinent.
Cannot kill Gizerbane, but you can give him heart palpitations.
Do you know what Metamucil is?
Plot holes. Back to the turtles. We're doing plot holes. First plot hole. Let's talk about this. Superfly. Superfly shows up in the movie, and he is our good friend Baxter Stockman's latest and greatest creation. He is a baby fly that lives in a crib or a cage. I couldn't quite figure out what it was.
They could be both things.
No top.
Could be
No
both
top.
things.
Oh no!
So
no!
it's fine. We're not going to worry about that.
You don't put your kids in a crib cage?
I mean,
Don't answer it.
if this
Don't
is
speak. Don't
child
respond to him.
services
It's a trap.
listening.
It's called parenting.
No, never. But Superfly at that point already seems to have, I don't know, so many powers, and like because he gets up and he just kicks the crap out of the private security team that comes to take.
Scratch is the guy is the only guy
lead.
that was left.
Yeah.
the case like entirely. Yeah.
And I just want to know, like, what are Superfly's powers and what's his deal? Because we see the turtles get covered in the mutagen in the sewer, and they grow up to be regular turtles. They learn.
those are regular turtles.
Those are
Matt, I got
where
some
have you
news
seen
for you.
it?
The New York Times
Yeah.
from the Bronx.
Fine, regular teenage mutant turtles.
Okay.
That learn the secret arts of ninjutsu from TV and movies.
Yeah, from Carrie Lee's Guide to
And
Self
others,
Carrie's
and
got
many other,
And many others.
Many
many
others
other
as
martial
well,
art
yeah.
gems and treasures, especially from the Shaw Brothers collection.
But and Superfly is just automatically OP.
Yeah.
So how did he get his powers?
And to add to that, why does he have a crab claw?
Hey,
That's a good
Spencer,
question. Yeah.
That's part of
That's
the
one of his
question.
powers.
Okay, that's why I'm including
what
it.
you have to? Well, if you're gonna single it out and just fucking try to take over this podcast, you answer why it's a crab claw. Did you want to go there?
He has crabs.
Oh shit!
That's weak.
I was put on the spot, okay?
He
That's like
fucked
a
around
2
and found
out
out.
of
He
10.
tried to mix it up with an STI, right? An STI crab, and then a hot night of passion, and Superfly's had needs, but then he got crabs. You see,
So that's my joke, but worse and longer.
So
that's right.
So I thought
That's how you do it.
I thought Spencer. I thought Spencer had hit rock bottom, but somehow Chris had a jackhammer.
gotta
and kept
dig.
digging.
He just always makes me look good.
Gotta keep digging.
He's just helping a brother out.
Dig down.
Yes, and
dig down.
Yes, and your joke, but worse.
Dig down. Is that what you got to do? All this Metamucil in my veins.
Luciano, what about you?
Oh my god!
You want me to
Luciano,
make it even worse?
Could you
joke?
answer whatever that question was that Matt asked?
Why did he have crabs?
The original question:
Yeah, that one.
how did Superfly get his
I have to
powers?
think that maybe Baxter was experimenting on him even before, like. Not, it wasn't just because like the turtles was just the ooze, right?
Right.
And so maybe he was experimenting. He was like splicing genes and
It's
stuff.
like a different ooze was used on like
Oh,
because he
yeah,
had
or
those
like
test
the
tubes
ooze-
for all the rest of the family, right?
Yeah, maybe he used like it was the ooze plus some other shit, maybe.
Some crab
Not
DNA.
that it shows anything like that, like on the movie.
Did
but
the family have powers?
like how? What do you mean?
Well, like the family, like Bebop, Rocksteady, Leather. Was it Leatherface?
Leatherhead.
No,
Leatherhead.
Leatherhead.
Wingnut.
Did they all have?
Leatherface is a different movie.
Yeah, you're
Leatherface was in this?
But did any of those have? Any of the other family members have powers?
Didn't seem like it. Like they just
The one guy's the
Think
guy.
so.
He had the tongue,
toad.
which I guess is a normal toad-like
I
thing.
mean, he's a
They just
toad.
leveraged.
That's like saying, oh yeah, the turtles had like a special power. Shells.
So maybe
that's
the ooze just enhances the natural powers of the animal. So
so like the natural crab claw that all
Yes.
flies have.
and they're natural.
I am
as we all know, crabs have a very their strength to body
Sexual.
ratio is extremely high.
sexually.
Exactly,
Okay.
It's true.
and maybe he grafted that crab hand onto his. Maybe that was just armor.
You mean his exoskeleton?
Yeah, maybe he just was wearing a crab like
Oh, like a cybernetic implant.
Okay.
yeah, or just like an armor gauntlet on his
He
hand.
did say that he inherited his father's, affinity and passion for science, right? So maybe he modified
There it
himself.
is.
Yeah.
Sexually.
Can we take a sidestep and ask how the fuck does that work? How did Superfly inherit anything?
Well, you see, when Baxter Stockman and
No,
Fly
don't go there. I
love
don't
each other
know.
very much.
I rescind my question. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe he put a little bit of his DNA. This sounds.
I was explaining that.
Yeah, sorry, that.
Oh, I
into
see. And
he
then
spliced.
and then Superfly got his crab claw. Is that
Intellectually.
Listen,
Intellectually.
Listen, you. I've had just about enough of you.
His intellectual crab claw.
And his physical crab claw.
It's manifested.
Both.
That's where his
Both of
brains
those.
are, in the crab claw.
I mean, okay,
That might
fair
be
enough.
the role in the movie that we just uncovered. Why does that fly have a crab claw?
I
Maybe
hadn't
it's
even
like an
realized
because
Mm-hmm.
some insects have those kind of
Like worms.
like a scorpion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it was like a scorpion.
And crabs.
Which isn't
And
an
worms
insect,
have
by the
more-
way.
Are crabs
Worms
insects?
have
crabs.
more than one
Allegedly.
brain too,
Crabs-
don't they? So like when you
crabs are
chop a worm in
crustaceans.
half,
Yeah.
it still does its thing and goes and gets some stocks, right? And the other one goes and gets
What
NFTs.
is this contributing? What does that have
Yes,
to do with the
and
crab
son
claw?
of a bitch.
Sorry, yes, and maybe he has two brains.
Yes.
So I'm gonna say it was a scorpion splicing. That seems more feasible with a fly,
So the fly was spliced with the scorpion,
or maybe he just
and
had some scorpion.
and all he
DNA.
got was a crab
Like those
claw.
t-shirts.
Yeah.
He got.
All I got was the stupid crab. Maybe he's like one of his ancestors is a scorpion, and it came out.
What?
Moving
How
on.
is this contributing to that?
Listen, you two. I've had just about enough of you two. Matt, save us from
I
ourselves.
had Metamucil today.
Why? I'm really enjoying you driving yourself into a cave or a hole.
So-
I'm just gonna let it go.
Not just digging a hole, but like pulling the rocks on top.
hugging the dirt into
Yeah.
myself.
Burying thyself. Okay.
So I brought up a picture of baby Superfly because I wanted to know, and baby Superfly does not appear to have the massive armed crab claw. It's all just the regular, like, tiny little arms, at least from the sketch. And so I don't know if the movie one had it. I'm just missing it. There's some Funko Pops of like the actual character, but that's obviously the adult version. So it doesn't. He acquires it at some point somehow, and it also looks like he does curls, but only with that one arm with the crab claw, because the other claw is very like withered down. That's where he holds
That's
it
what
gun or whatever.
happened.
And he also like has the little other two
So
like
he
T-Rex arms.
He
that
skips
punches
middle leg
Mikey with.
day. Like middle legs day.
Oh, guys, I think I got it.
Okay.
I did some research.
Oh dear.
So,
What were your
a
sources?
fly has 6 legs.
It's okay. Keep going.
Each has a blah blah coxa, trochanter, femur, tibia, blah blah blah. At the tip of the rim is a pair of claws.
Yep.
And between these are cushion-like structures known as pulvilli, which provide adhesion. So maybe they have tiny claws, and this one
Okay, Spencer.
was extra
You know,
grown.
fine. You know what? Let me ask you this question then. Why is his other hand a fucking fist?
Foiled again.
Just when I thought I
asking
was
questions.
out, they pull me back in.
We're not talking the government. We're talking about the McGillicuddy.
Okay. Well,
Sit back down.
I don't. I just don't have an answer for that
But
one.
it made sense. It really did.
I also
don't think Wikipedia is going
I
to help
also
me here.
like how the question was like how what kinds of powers and how does Superfly get his powers? And we're like, but let's talk about this crab or crab arm that he has.
That's clearly a big power he used throughout the movie. He also has
100%. Yeah.
what appears to be super speed when he's a child,
strength,
right? And
right?
strength, yeah, because he like flips guys around and knocks them on their asses. Is this like I don't even know enough about flies. Spencer, you want to Wikipedia this
Well,
for
I just
me?
Googled this.
But, like,
and
Thank you.
I Googled, do flies have hands? After Googling, do flies have
no.
claws? And it says, flies rub their hands together to clean themselves. So I think that answers that question.
Moving on, Spencer, I want you to answer.
Sorry.
Are flies like ants? Do they have like strength of 10 men or whatever? Comparatively based on their size. So when they scale up to being a regular sized or not a baby sized fly, it explains why they can topple men that are like 200
baby-sized
plus
fly
pounds.
seem to have incredible speed and some degree of strength. So I like that question.
Yeah.
And also
Crab
crab claws.
Clap.
Well, if the what's that movie called? The Fly.
The Fly.
has got
Oh my
anything.
God. You forgot the name of the movie about the fly?
What's that movie about a
Jeff
fly?
Goldblum, Gina Davis.
The man
Yeah.
who became a fly. So in that movie, he got super strength.
True.
Oh, well then.
It must be true. If Jeff Goldblum played something, it must be
The answer
true.
to your question is Jeff Goldblum.
Canonically accurate, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
So
It
can,
yes. Oh yes, yes.
so a fly can pick up 50% of its own body weight.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
That doesn't
That's not
answer
very.
anything.
That's not that strong.
So they could
It's-
bench
it's
half their weight,
like-
and then that scales.
So that's like me lifting 170 pounds. No.
Yeah. It's,
Wait, how many?
I mean, no, that's like me lifting 110 pounds.
So, for the baby fly's case, let's give the baby fly 40 pounds. Maybe it's a chunky baby fly. It could
Holy
lift 20
shit.
pounds.
Yeah.
And with that speed,
Yeah. It was doing
with
way
the
more
speed,
than that.
Well, I think that's where velocity comes into play. Baby mutant fly, superfly had a lot of speed, and then with whatever 20 pounds it can leverage, it's still that's probably like the weight of maybe like an arm. So that's slapping you at a lot of speed. So
He's right.
I
Centrifugal
mean, you
force
tried,
and such.
Chris. I appreciate you, but no.
you old dustbag, you.
Listen to the voice
Go
of
back
wisdom.
to being
young
old
one.
Bane.
Get back on. Get back
You
on.
old bag of bones.
Flies
Get
cannot
back on your
do
commode.
that much damage.
Why does your voice go high? You're old,
Yeah.
not
You're supposed
Young.
to
It was,
talk
it
like
was old
this.
Bane. It was old Bane. That's what I
Don't
was
push
doing.
too hard.
you're not the creepy guy from creepy old guy from Family Guy. You're
Yeah.
fucking-
Ah, Chris.
Oh, my. Oh, no.
That's what you sound like.
Herbert the pervert. We got Herb.
yeah, Herbert. Yeah, thank
Herbert
you.
Pervert. I can't
can't
whistle
either.
through my teeth like he
Used
does.
to know a guy who did it, who could. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Moving on. We're
Thank-
gonna move
that was
past
such a
this.
Perfect segue. Timing.
The other thing that happens with Superfly, it's all
gotta put
Superfly
respect on that
related at
name.
this point. Superfly's plan is to aerosolize his blood, spreading it across the earth and turning all the animals into mutants. And then they would obviously rise up and murder all the humans because that's what anything does when it's been mutated,
except the toy.
I guess.
Couple holes
I don't
there.
Yes, that's been
couple
very well
problems.
established.
Well, it's his blood and he's angry, so maybe that's how it works. Anyways, I'm not concerned with that plan. I'm concerned about what happens when the turtles and the rest of the family team up and knock the aerosolizing cannon into the water and it explodes, and also Superfly falls in. The result of that is not that all of these sea creatures turn into mutants, but it is that Superfly makes a kaiju with all the things in the vicinity of the sea. And they pull a Ghostbusters and have them walk down Times Square. What the fuck? what the fuck was that? Like, how does that make any sense? They spent all this time explaining his very intricate plan and threw it out the window.
Maybe Superfly was wrong, and that's not what would have happened if he
That's a good answer.
was able to realize.
He was also
like, he was just like.
He's also
No, go
wrong
ahead.
about inheriting his father's intellect and will. He botched the fucking engineering.
Okay.
What is it? Engineering in you work from home kit from DeVry Institute, and he did not pass. He did not pass.
You put some respect on DeVry.
He did not pass. He lied to the rest of his mutant family. He's like, I got it right here. It's just this rolled up, menu from some restaurant and
Cheesecake
Panda
Factory.
Express.
thank you.
Express.
I accept both. And then you did it, Superfly, surrogate father. You did it. And then he's like, if they only knew the truth.
I'm a fraud.
A sham, a charlatan.
I think he's just like he thought he had it.
I think
he was very sure that
Chris,
that he was like.
Sorry, I just want to ask Chris, are you saying that Superfly is an allegory to the Republican Party and the people who follow the Republican Party in the United States, whereby they're pulling the wool over their eyes and not letting them learn anything, therefore they'll follow them blindly without using any logic or education in their daily lives?
Was not at the January 6th insurrection. However, Superfly is not a black Republican. Period.
Okay.
But
Just
donated to a super PAC.
But may or may not be bailing out January 6th.
Does not subscribe to O.J. Simpson being innocent. Let's leave it at that.
Superfly believes in the Fifth Amendment.
Oh no! And the second.
And the second especially.
Ghost power.
Turtle power.
Mutant power. Mutant power.
Turtle power.
Mutant power.
Turtle power.
So that's the only way I can see this making sense is he was wrong about his original plan. And I guess
He was wrong
if he
technically.
went through with it,
his
every
engineering
animal
skills
would
were
just
subpar.
become one gigantic kaiju. Maybe.
Right. So what you're telling me in this scenario where his plan worked, obviously the animal mutant kaijus would just not everything would form up across the world, but they ball up, in a 1 kilometer radius. They would
Megazord.
As those 1 kilometer balls got closer to each other, they would Megazord themselves up until they became a mutant kaiju.
It's kind of how I imagine
that's one
the
explanation.
Thing's homeworld would look like,
Like
what?
The Thing.
The Thing.
John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
John
like-
Carpenter's thing. I thought you meant the Thing from Fantastic Four. And I'm like,
Indeed.
No.
Ben Grimm is
No.
not.
The Thing. John Carpenter's the
Each
Thing.
individual stone in his body is another.
Yeah. So
being.
that's how I pictured
Okay.
the Thing from John Carpenter's Homeworld. It's like all the things just kind of merge into one being, one gross being.
why is the Thing so tiny? Well, not big.
Because that was just a small part of it that got stuck on another spaceship.
Yes, and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
Yes.
The kaiju that was formed
Yes.
by Superfly.
So I have a theory as well
Okay.
of how.
What other theories do we have? Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
so I have a theory that what if, because we know that his plan was for it to be released via aerosol through the air. What if when it went underwater, it congealed, and therefore everything that was within that mucus-like water bubble was just all sort of absorbed into one?
Great,
So
love it.
you're-
Why are the whales
To
so
New York?
close to?
I was gonna say, were there
New
whales
York.
in the Hudson
there's just
River? Is
one
that what
whale,
Free
happened?
Willy.
right?
I mean,
That's
like,
In the Hudson
see,
River.
that was the Free Willy whale.
wow. I think that whale's dead.
Was it?
And that was an orca, not a was it a
Yeah,
blue whale?
Not a blue whale.
Humpback.
Yeah, it was a blue whale.
Yeah.
That blue whale just escaped from SeaWorld. It
all
went through-
whales look
you know.
the same. It's
Dun,
fine.
dun, dun.
Oh,
Wow.
canceled. I didn't know you.
It's 2023,
I didn't know
Matt.
you would
What
like
the
that,
fuck?
Matt. I didn't know you would like that. Turtle power. So that blue whale recently escaped from SeaWorld, where Wood was tortured daily, of course.
Spencer,
Yes.
do you know where SeaWorld is located?
Don't they have more than one location?
The New York location,
The
or obviously New
Scranton-
Jersey,
Scranton
Atlantic
location.
City? Do you think there's one there?
Whichever one has
Scranton location.
whichever one has a blue whale on the premises, which I'm sure is many. You quiet, you.
All of them?
Yeah. So that's what I assume. I mean,
All right, here
either
we
way,
go.
my theory or not,
Spencer,
the blue whale being there.
Spencer, closest one's probably Orlando, Florida. There's also one in San Diego and San Antonio,
AKA.
Texas.
That's a stone's throw
Connecticut.
away. So the whale
live
hitchhiked
in
its way
Connecticut?
across America
Yeah.
and found its way to the Hudson. You know what? Like I said, my theory is the whole of my theory is not that, because that issue is
But
with
what
all
is the whole?
theories. The fact that whale is there is a problem for everyone. That was my congealed
Okay.
aerosol theory.
You know what? That's fair. The whale is everyone's problem, not
The
just
whale
your
is
problem.
everyone's
okay?
problem.
It's not my job to solve that
Sounds
problem.
like a them problem.
There's
not
another
us
problem too, because it goes onto land and goes onto a zoo, and then suddenly there are
A lot of
horses stuck
horses.
to the kaiju as
enough
well
for
for
2
reasons.
legs.
It was in
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
zoo. He crashed into the zoo.
Yeah, but why? Why did it like morph into like afterwards? It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
They had a horse exhibit going on, apparently.
No, that's not the problem.
Well, but to be fair, though, Luciano, it's the same. It's the horses are everybody who has their kaiju walk through the zoo's problem.
Yeah, not
It's not
it's
just
not
Spencer's
my problem.
True.
The
100%.
horses is everyone's problem.
That being said, I do want to know why, if Spencer's answer says that it congeals into a ball and captures everything near there, why isn't the kaiju on land also sucking up people and things that get close to it? Like, shouldn't the turtles have been sucked in if the horses could be sucked in? Because they're riding on top of
similar
it.
hadn't even thought of that,
like
you're
Spider-Man's ability to choose when to stick to surfaces. Like kaiju was
Yes,
choosing to
yes.
absorb animals to create limbs.
He wanted horse
It's like,
legs.
oh, I want some thick, them thick thighs. Them horses.
I want some thick
Yeah.
ass horse legs.
So just to go back, we're going with he didn't know what the fuck he was doing in order
It sounds like
or
he
he
did.
did know what he was doing
sounds
if
like
he
he
got
did.
these sweet powers. So every mutant would have had the ability to suck in other creatures if they felt like it.
No, only if they were made in a congealed underwater ball.
Okay, fair. But they would get sucked into the mega congealed water ball, thereby not having the power to turn it on or off. Who controls that power? Is it like once you're with Superfly? Is Superfly in control?
Yeah,
But
Superfly's
on your
control.
own?
He's the original.
He's the core.
You see how this is falls
Apparently.
apart?
It doesn't fall apart.
No.
What?
It just
you're
grows.
wrong.
Are you saying that none of this is like rock solid?
No, you're wrong. It's fucking diamond solid, okay? Let's start from the beginning. He's a congealed underwater ball. He is the center of it. He becomes the nuclei of the
Get him.
jello sphere.
Okay.
Get him.
Okay.
So 2 nuclei.
No,
so
he said-
more
no,
than one.
listen,
That's
don't
what
talk.
nuclei is. It's more
Don't
than
talk. Don't talk.
Fuck
You
you.
Metamucil spokesperson times 4.
Keep your
Listen,
old
old or
ass
young, I'm
mind
still
out.
right.
He's going
You
to
keep
senile
your
in his old age, that
glutamine
Luciano.
representative perspectives to yourself.
Yeah, so he becomes an amorphous blob that can suck up anything of his choosing.
Okay.
He is,
Only Superfly got to choose.
yes, he is
Okay.
the mutant
He's
core.
the driver.
Everything else he sucks up is non-mutant. We don't even know
Correct.
if he's able to suck up mutants. They could be impervious to this.
Okay. Now I like that because if you're saying he could turn the power on and off, he would turn the power on to suck in the mutants, thereby stopping them from stopping his plans. But if you're going to say that he cannot suck up mutants because they are immune to the sucking power,
That could
now you
that
have
could
something.
be it, or also if he absorbs another mutant, maybe they, because of their inclination to ooze, could also control this blob.
And then you have the nuclei.
And then it becomes a nuclei, not just a nucleus.
There you go.
That's what I was getting to. If you just let me finish. For once in my life.
This is what happens when you try to read the patriarchy, Spencer.
Yeah, exactly. It's just they don't listen. So that is everything wrapped up in a nice little package.
All right, I see no further reason to talk about this. Let's move on to some questions.
When did you get a gavel?
It's always been there.
I lent it.
No,
to
it's like my
You
crab
stole- you
ass
stole
from the beginning.
Wow. You can't call the penis that. Spencer. I told you.
Whatever the hell I like. I bang it on the table like a gavel. It's earned its name.
Well, use your safe word, Chris.
Pickles.
1 sec. Hold on. I gotta unzip my pants. Order!
Order. Moving on to our questions. This is an excellent segue to ask our first question. Spencer mentions that he uses some apps to find love. And I want to know the names.
No, I heard it.
I'm a married man.
I heard it.
Or Splinter.
Multiple times.
Who knows who said it?
Okay.
Okay, for our purpose of this question, let's focus on Splinter instead of Spencer.
Did you mean to say Splinter? Oh, that's so good.
Who knows? Splinter
Oh boy.
used many apps to find love. What were the names of some of the apps that Splinter used? 'Cause
So
said
he
them
used
all.
Bumble, he used Hinge, OkCupid, Tinder.
Hey, bro, I don't
Don't
need a
worry.
real list of
And
what
then the most
exists in the
important
real
one,
world.
Coffee Meets Bagel. You'll never
Is that
know.
real too?
You'll never know.
Dude, that is real.
You don't know.
I know it's real.
That is real.
What about Plenty of
Oh
Fish?
shit.
What about
Could've
J
been-
Date?
could've been J-Date.
J-Date. Is
What about some
Splinter
fake
Jewish?
ones that are local? Yeah.
Like eHarmony, maybe?
No, can you just come up with ones that are
Okay,
unique to
sorry.
the fucking turtle
Sorry.
world?
Cheese and Cupid.
I guess it would have to.
Okay,
well,
I'll allow it.
okay.
Jeez. Because when you started saying Bumble, I thought you were going to make a pun with Bumblebee or
Yeah.
something like that.
Good time.
Animal lovers.
Oh,
Animal lovers. Oh my god.
And
Oh,
he's
I
trying to read the demo.
Depending
that
on,
one.
depending on which tab you go on that app, it can be really bad.
one
Really good.
And he had a lot of high hopes for this
Yeah.
one. It was furry feelings.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
I like
That's
that.
the right
Yeah.
trajectory for him.
No,
We had to
you're
dial it
getting-
in. We
you're
just had to,
getting it.
Yeah.
get some
Great.
data and then
Isn't it sick that I could realistically see him finding
a furry.
like a fur that would love him?
Can someone do some quick Googles to see if furries?
I will not Google that.
furries feelings?
If furries what?
I'm sure it exists.
If a furry app exists,
sure.
I'll
incognito.
incognito. Wait.
Show
Oh
us
yeah,
the
I'll
furries for
incognito.
real. I'm pretty sure Spencer used that one too.
You are both on a watch list now.
Oh no, it exists.
Yeah.
It's
Oh wow!
called Furzu. It's called
FERZU is a
Furzu.
place for anyone whose
Oh,
brain is
also
wired
bark
furry.
with a Q.
Oh no!
Oh.
Wait,
my
does
God.
Bark with a Q? Does the
Uh-oh,
recruiter
they
company
should.
know about that?
I don't know.
Kinda-
I don't know.
And there's a question
Maybe
here
they're
that Google is
sponsored.
asking. Thank you.
Ooh,
Oh, also
boy.
furry mate.
wow.
As you'd
So
expect.
I think I think we realized we've found exactly what
So-
fits he'd be on.
Splinter
Furfling.
is like
Lovezoid. They
is a
got worse.
furry's
Just stop.
dream come true.
Yeah, just stop.
So someone asked
Yeah.
in Google, and like one of the question that Google surfaces is, can a non-furry date a furry? So it's like, how does one categorize Splinter in that dynamic? A non-furry because he's
I think it's up to the furries in question. If a non-furry
Yeah.
wants to date a furry, and vice
Yeah.
versa, that's their own life choice.
Yeah, I don't see why you have to.
Why you gotta
limit
put a
their
label
choice.
I'm
on
just
it, man.
responding to the question
exactly.
that was surfaced by Google. So I thought it was curious.
Maybe you should just.
So you're blaming Google for this?
Maybe you should
Travis?
just
Or maybe what
mind.
you should do is open your legs.
Yeah. No, we told him he can't bring out the
Incidentally,
crab
that was,
claw.
I can't bring out the
that was
gavel?
Splinter's bio on fur.
Open your
whatever
legs.
the
Alright,
fuck
the
that
gavel's
was.
Open the
coming out,
legs.
boy.
Open it and let the air in.
Order.
Let
Order.
it in and then let it out.
You sure? You should really get.
Why are you the only one staring, Luciano? I look away from the screen when he pulls his thing out.
Oh, I didn't look. It was just the sound that got me scared.
Why does it sound like plastic?
Spencer has
the medical condition.
It
Spencer
sounds stiff
Spencer has
and
all the
brittle.
genitals.
Don't want
That's
that.
why. We don't limit.
Oh God.
Moving on.
Make it a furry
Next
one.
question.
I'm kidding. Don't worry.
Well, I mean, we don't really have any other furry ones. I'm sorry.
Thank God.
Thanks to gods. Hey, why? So Splinter and not Spencer actually finds love with Scumbag. And
Scumbug! How dare you?
I don't know,
Wow,
man.
How
true
dare
feelings
you?
come out.
Scumbug. Did I write I wrote Scumbug. At least in my notes it's written as Scumbug. In a Scumbug, Spencer
I'm not
finds love.
I'm not a
falling
sentient rat.
apart.
For God's sake.
He's
going.
falling apart.
Keep going.
All right. Well, one more time. We'll get it right.
So Spencer and Scumbag are dating.
Open up your black book,
Correct.
Spencer, and tell us about the scumbags.
So, Spencer, why can't Scumbag speak English?
Well, it's an excellent question.
You know, the ancient Mayans used to call corn bears.
Yeah, I'm gonna defer to the man to my right, Luciano. Why don't you take this one? You got this.
Oh my God! I didn't see a bus stop
And
here.
you don't have a transfer.
I think that what's I don't remember
Splinter?
his name, the
Baxter
father of
Stockman?
all mutants. No.
Baxter.
Oh wow! Completely escaped my mind. I think he was experimenting. That's why Superfly is like powerful, and that's why Scumbag has some like loose screws up in there.
Right.
Or it's either that. It's only two options. It's either experimentation or Scumbag is the most xenophobic, racist bug mutant that
Would you
there
say
is.
he's a?
Why?
So he
Would you say he's a buggit?
I thought you were gonna say you
No.
would say he's a scumbag.
No, that's easier.
It was right.
No,
It was right.
Buggit
there.
is better.
No one likes what's happening right now.
I don't
Puns
think
are the
it
lowest
is.
form of comedy.
Luciano, I want to ask you a question to follow up that he's xenophobic. Is he
you have
xenophobic
to?
because he won't speak English?
Whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
So he won't conform to society.
Yeah,
Because he
And that's his
because he
fault,
speaks his
or
he
her fault.
refuses to engage with society
because she speaks
on their terms.
she speaks her native
He only
language.
engages exactly. He
Wow.
speaks vermin.
Is there
Oh,
an ethnic
vermin.
enclave in New York City that's just
We're going down
only
a dark
vermin
path,
speakers?
guys.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
called
God!
Queens.
Okay, new question.
Wow.
New question.
Fucking
Luciano,
shots
is
at
Baxter
Queens.
Stockman? No. New
Across-
question. Hurry before
across the
before they
way,
come for us.
Joshua.
Luciano, is Baxter Stockman a furry? There you
Yeah,
go.
I thought that was clear.
Why?
We got it, boys.
Why is Baxter Stockman a
You
furry?
could have said.
I
You
don't
could have
know.
said.
He's
I'm
just-
just
you could have taken
ending
it.
here.
There you go. See.
It's fine. We're past it now. Moving on. I want to know.
That's
I'm going to do a
deep.
palate
You're
cleanser
welcome.
here. Why? How? Thank you. What is Splinter? And you can throw the turtles in there if you want. But what is? How many people did Splinter and the Turtles just straight up murder in this movie? This
that's a good
children's
question.
movie.
Okay.
This is Terminator levels of killing. I think.
Well, no, we got to go through the confirmed kills. We know
Oh,
we
no.
know. I distinctly saw Splinter a Raphael dagger, which is called
Sigh.
a.
Yeah. Sigh.
He threw a sigh directly into a man's forehead. That I saw.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe I.
That man fell over and did not
You
get
know,
up.
Yeah.
he was dead on landing.
Yeah.
I distinctly think I saw Leo slice a man's face.
A
A
few.
few faces.
When in that montage,
Montage.
he was using his
Yes.
sword. Yeah.
Also, Splinter smashed the guy's head in,
Yeah.
just like into, was it the ground or like to the wall?
with the chair. With
the chair, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that guy wouldn't have survived. Like, it was not just a knock you out smash. It was a goodbye to your skull smash.
Goodbye to your family smash. He also took that electric rod and stuffed it in a guy's face, and it was still protruding upward, which means
Yes.
It was embedded.
Oh,
It
It's
was
embedded.
embedded.
it's
That's
stuck
right,
in
which
there.
means- yeah.
Yeah.
It was embedded, exactly.
That's another. That's
Yeah.
another. Get your affairs in order.
That's another
hit, for sure.
confirmed kill. Get your. That's okay.
So we're saying at 5 is what we're coming up
Well,
with.
that's only so far. I assume that.
Yeah.
5.
We can assume, I think, pretty safely that Donatello and Michelangelo didn't, because they have wooden weapons.
yes.
Yeah, but like a concussion to the head.
Yeah,
it's
but
still
we need confirmed kills.
Yeah, those aren't
right?
confirmed.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was gonna say that like Raph, given it's Raph, probably killed a bunch of people, but they're not confirmed either. So
Yeah, did they kill any of that gang that they beat up to get April's bike
in the
or scooter bike from?
garage.
I didn't see
In the
anybody
auto
get
garage?
outright murdered in the garage. Yeah.
I don't
They
think
seem
so.
to
No,
in
I don't think so
context.
either. They were still. They hadn't gotten a taste for blood
Yeah.
yet at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
They hadn't developed their methods.
Yes, that's fair.
So I think it's safe to say 5 confirmed, but I feel like
Yeah.
Raph has got to have a few that I'm just not remembering, or they didn't show on screen. I assume he peeled some faces off.
Okay. Well, so I think this dovetails into my other question. So we have 5 confirmed kills, and based on only confirmed kills and not on rumors, are the turtles the real villains? Because by my count, Superfly basically killed what? Was there 3 guys in that van?
Well,
4 guys
they
in
also
that
said
van?
they killed.
Yeah.
He killed anyone who ever saw his face.
I understand that, but we don't
But
have
it's
any
not
numbers on
confirmed.
that.
Confirmed.
We can't confirm.
Yeah. And the guys that Superfly killed were thugs. So
So they're
He's
subhumans.
cleaning up the streets.
yeah.
I mean, say they.
Oh my God! What? How
You
did it go
said
from thugs to subhumans?
They were only.
I said thugs.
No,
you
Luciano, you said
oh
subs.
my God! No, I
Yeah, you
didn't.
said subs, subhumans.
No, it was
No, that's
all
what you said.
this time.
The ancient minds called corn maze.
Oh God!
So how many were in that gang he killed? 3?
I think it was 3 in that van.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
That crew.
Okay. I mean, but to be
So-
fair,
So
the
you're saying-
turtles
so the
also
turtles
killed,
killed
but they also
people?
killed subhumans.
The turtles.
Yeah.
When?
Who did they kill?
There you go.
The thugs
Where-
they
where-
killed.
In the mon.
The 5.
But that's
Oh
spread.
my!
Oh,
They
I
were
mean,
just-
yeah, but
You
like
mean
whatever.
the
I'm not.
security team?
We're just
I'm
if
not
we're comparing
counting-
who's villains, you can't say the ones that the Fly killed were.
It's just a straight numbers
Okay.
game. I'm saying, are the turtles the real villains? They killed more people than the villain in this
Yes,
movie.
they're confirmed kill
They
counts higher.
also shoplifted constantly.
Oh, always.
Yeah.
And not like it wasn't like they shoplifted enough to survive. They're shoplifting
TP,
junk
paper
food,
towels.
pizzas,
They got
toilet
the bounty
paper.
tier.
Yeah,
And they weren't stealing from like a big company like 7-Eleven or whatever. It was just like a
Bodegas.
mom
No,
and
they
pop
targeted
shop.
mom and pop
Bodegas.
shops,
yes, they did.
and they got that.
Yeah, and bodegas.
they did
yeah.
it for the high. Let's be real.
Hmm.
Yeah, just
Right.
because they could.
And then they basically let a young woman's bike get stolen,
Yeah.
and only
They-
to
they
not go to
caused-
jail. To not
they
go to jail,
caused
did they
it.
do something about
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think
There's
they're-
also
I think
manslaughter.
It's pretty clear that
Attempted
they're the
manslaughter.
villains.
Because April got a ninja shuriken in her helmet. If she wasn't wearing it,
Yeah.
she would
It's
have been
right.
toast.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would have been dead.
I think it's pretty
Yeah.
convenient to call that an
But still
accident.
manslaughter.
Mm.
Because,
direct
well,
headshot.
still, Raphael closed his eyes. He
Especially
closed his
given that
eyes
it
when he
was
threw it.
Raph.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Convenient.
And he also could have hit
True.
Mikey in the head.
Right.
Which also would have been
That would have been fine.
Not
Mikey might have
manslaughter, but
survived that.
total slaughter.
What's that called?
at least.
Wow.
Fratricide?
Oh.
Fratricide? Is that right?
No,
Yeah,
that's killing your.
Patrick.
Oh, it's your brother. Yes.
Yeah.
Patricide is
fratricide.
killing your
Yes.
father, and retrocide is killing the king. Just if we're going for
All
the sides.
Let's just bang him out. What about matricide? You forgot about matricide.
What if you
Good
kill
mother.
a couch?
Wow.
What's it called when you kill your?
Couchside.
Countryside.
What's it called when you
Smoke.
kill your co-host on a podcast?
Oh, mm.
Countryside.
Holy,
Oh my
holy justice.
And what if you kill Orlando Bloom?
No,
Hey.
Bloomside. Yeah, everyone knows that one. We've all been
Yeah,
there.
idiot. Come on.
We've
What
all
if you-
been there.
You haven't
He's
blew
died
aside?
so many
What if
times.
you're
Legolas.
so? What if Splinter would try to get a mortgage, right? And he was working with a mortgage broker who gave him faulty instructions to get a mortgage. So Splinter went out and killed him. What kind of side would that be?
Right.
The side of the law.
That's a little long, but it's a side. We need a side. Mortricide.
This is just a bad joke.
All of the side.
Moving on.
We've
I
lost.
think it's called moving on aside.
I think it's called killing the joke.
Someone's got to clean this shit up.
aside. See what I did there. Next question: why were there baby turtles in a sewer? Like, just
That's a good question. Are there turtles in the sewer? Is that a thing?
I mean, I guess if you sent your turtles to a farm upstate, aka flush them down the toilet, then there could be turtles there. But generally, the
They're usually
toilet
dead
doesn't.
already.
And the toilet doesn't empty directly into the sewer
The turtle doesn't
per
empty?
se. No, the toilet
Oh,
doesn't
Go
specifically
on.
just dump into an open sewer.
yeah. But they can hold their breath a long time.
Right. How long, Spencer? Just guess. I want to know what you think.
I'm going to say a baby turtle
Baby turtle.
can hold his breath for up to 15 minutes.
Interesting.
Anybody want to take an
I'm
over-under
going
on
to
that?
say 45.
I think it's a lot more.
45
A
minutes.
sea,
They're amphibian.
a sea turtle can hold its
Hey,
breath for like 3
but that's
hours.
a full grown,
so-
is it?
So
But-
are you saying the Ninja Turtles are sea turtles?
You
Yeah,
racist.
Okay.
So the turtles
What?
ended up in the sewer. I think they ended up in the sewer because, you know, a 7-year-old kid, you know, was with their parent, begged for pets. They bought the pets, and in being in New York, they were leaving the pet store and they were making their way to Times Square. But there was a kerfuffle, and the kerfuffle caused the kid to trip over and spill their new pets into the sewer grate. So I blame
That's a fair.
Alec Baldwin.
Society.
I was going to say something similar.
Oh, I thought you were going to blame Big Kerfuffle.
Big kerfuffle. Behind
Alec
everything.
Baldwin.
Yeah. As usual.
Yeah. Okay. I think Alec Baldwin's too busy accidentally on purpose shooting
Well,
people on sets, but I mean,
This
maybe he
w-
did
you
this
know,
too.
Oh my! Shots fired.
See?
Well,
See?
like he did.
Alec Baldwin was
Baldwin.
shots
See?
fired at other people.
everything corrects itself.
Does it?
Mm.
Now, anyways, back to the turtle question of breathing. Turtlehub.com, which is obviously very reputable.
Classic.
Another sponsor.
That's actually
of ours.
Right.
another furry
See?
dating site.
It is actually. Anyways, they surmise that turtles normally dive in water for 4 to 5 minutes and come up every few seconds for air. But many freshwater turtles can hold their breath for 20 minutes to an hour, and sea turtles can go 2 to 7 hours.
What about babies?
So depending on what type of turtle it is,
Those are full grown.
well, I didn't. The furries are only fully
say
grown. We
furries?
don't dabble in the baby furries.
No, like go away. Go away from
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's a species list here and give some times. Anyways, Spencer is mostly wrong, is what we're going to get down to. Unless they're eastern box turtles, which can hold their breath from 10 to 15 minutes.
Which I thought they were, and I'm glad I was confirmed to be correct. Moving on. No time for retorts.
More lifeless.
Why does the red bandana turtle need therapy? This is April O'Neil's question from the movie, but I think it's important we answer it here.
Can you expand on that? What do you mean it's April O'Neil's question from the movie?
Oh my god.
Did you watch the
Yes,
movie?
but I want for the audience to understand where you're getting these questions that were not
Nice,
said in the
nice
movie.
tactic. Nice tactic.
Well, if you
there.
watch the movie, April O'Neil has a list of questions because she's a reporter. She has a list of questions she wants to ask the turtles, and they pause on it for a few minutes. So you can actually pause and see these questions. And the question for Raphael is, how many people has he killed, and does he need therapy? And since we already covered how many people he killed, I'm just skipping to why does he need therapy?
when you take a life, it changes you, right? And we've seen this as evidenced by Voldemort's Horcruxes and
Of course.
one reputable
that took a turn.
Moripovich. when you get paternity tests.
How many lives did Maury Povich?
Well, when you think about the lives that were involved in those paternity tests, the ripple effects of the truth from the data that's collected,
thousands.
That's right.
Thousands.
Add it up.
So are you saying that even metaphorically taking someone's life
taking and affecting? So when you kill as many people as the red bandana turtle, you're going to be impacted. When you take a life, 2 people die.
That's deep.
Deep.
And when you look into the abyss, sometimes the abyss looks back.
It's very dark. It's very dark.
That too. So he needs therapy because he doesn't express his emotions. He constantly says how he has so much anger, but he doesn't ask why. Sorry, he doesn't ask why.
Why? I also think that because he was the chunkiest boy of all 4, he probably got bullied by his brothers.
So you think he has like body dysmorphia, maybe?
From his brothers in Master Splinter?
Definitely Master
But
Splinter.
especially Master Splinter. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
He didn't even have a name for the first few years of his life. He was just Fatty. That's all.
Which would lead us to why he would.
Is that bad?
Well,
this man has 2 children.
Is that bad? Was that a bad
This
thing?
would explain.
His children are called Fatty and Fatty Jr.
This would lead us to seeing why Raph would during the food raids, why he went to get mass gainer protein powder so he could bulk out. Pump iron and bulk out.
True.
Maybe he's on steroids.
I don't think he's natty. Not anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you get that natty.
So he's going to therapy because he takes roids.
He's on the
I think
path.
we need to get to the deeper issue of why he takes roids. I think we need to delve deeper into his
psyche.
We probably do. We don't have time, so we're moving
His
on.
amphibian medulla.
Oblongata.
So why does April O'Neil have the keys to the entire high school?
Kleptomaniac.
That's definitely possible.
Oh, wow.
You asked.
I think.
Oh, there's something deeper there. We could do this. Yeah. Go for it, Spencer, and then tag me in.
I think that she is a big part of the AV club, and she likes to film after hours and report. So she shivved the teacher with the keys, hit his body, took it. Let me finish.
Okay.
Put his body in a tub, put some lye in there, decomposed it.
Right.
Let me finish. Waited till
nice.
the remains fully liquefied, drank it. Now let me finish here.
Gross.
And once she had consumed all the
his power.
remains, she could then use the key to get TV equipment needed to film her.
Because she is now that person, and the DNA in
It
her
would
body
match.
Who
let her
would
use
think
the
to
key.
look
Right.
within someone?
Exactly. Because a wise man once said, when you kill someone, 2 people die. Except when you eat them.
And then you become 2
3 people die.
3 people die.
Then you become the 2 people.
Take that, Neil.
And you change, thereby 3 people die. We refed it
God,
out. And
this is top tier. It's top shelf.
I think we all learned something here today.
We did. I think we did. Did we learn
No.
why the Mega Milker 2000 could only milk 1 turtle at a time? Because I'm thinking when they make the Mega Milker 3000, they really want to milk 4 turtles at a time because they had a big, huge vat to fill up.
You know what? My math's not great, but I think that's 4 times the efficiency.
I think you're right. How can we get there? How can we make it 4 times as efficient?
Now, I may have
Call
missed this.
China.
How exactly did they extract the quote-unquote ooze from the turtles? Was there an injection?
Blood.
They milk them. I don't understand what's
No, I
complicated
know
about
they
this.
milked. How was the milk
From
extracted?
the anus.
through the milking process.
God damn it, Matt. That is not an answer. You know it. Did they show any, sorry to use this term, audience, penetration?
No, they implied it.
No, it's a
implied.
It's a teenager's movie. You don't see a penetration. It's just a little bit of like
And that,
You assume it happens.
over the clothes stuff.
now here's the trick. We show it all.
Oh god.
Are you saying the problem with the Mega Milker 2000 is that it never got past like second base? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying we've got to up the penetration rate by at least 4 times.
Okay.
I don't
He's
think
not wrong.
that answers
That
Matt's
sentence,
question
that
at
sentence
all.
has never been said before. Just a fun fact.
So Matt, I think the real answer here
Yep.
is that they have to, use
The turtles don't have
to milk
nipples.
them. Because there weren't.
Then we make them.
Science.
How do you know?
They
never
don't.
show it
I
without
googled
their
it while y'all were waiting.
shells.
They're shells. They're shells from their back. Where are your nipples?
No, but it's like armor in the front.
No, the front is their bellies.
So if you
Wow.
say so.
Do you not know?
Do you,
how
do you think
anatomy
the
of
front of a
turtles
turtle
work?
is a shell as well? Do you think they're wearing
Yes.
like sweat like
It's
like sweaters?
It's like a barrel, isn't it? Isn't
Well, we
that how it
learned
works?
something today.
They get home at night and take it off, no?
This whole podcast is now focused on this.
Anatomy. Turtle anatomy.
Luciano, do you think the turtle shell connects to a frontal shell-like layer?
Yeah. Like a vest, no?
And underneath is their skin.
And their nipples. They have to
is
get
fantastic.
to those too.
So what he's saying is they need to take off their quote unquote.
Yeah, the barrel. They have to
They
take
have
the
to
barrel
barrel off to access the nipples. You know what? He's making a lot of
nipples, yeah.
sense here.
of which turtles have 3.
Of course.
As everybody knows. Yeah.
As everybody knows.
So I
And
think
I find
I've answered
myself
your
more
question.
confused than when we started.
Completely
this
mad.
question.
And that
Oh, so my work here is done.
Exactly. As is tradition. Yeah, I can't really add to that. I think we nailed it.
Oh, it was painful.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, they're just connected, and both sides are a shell. But we're not going to go down that.
That is
Did
what
you
I
go
thought.
low?
That's how I thought it
Maybe
worked.
I did. Who
What?
knows?
No, the front is their underbelly.
No, it's part of the shell.
Get
They
the
grow in.
part
fuck
of the
out
show.
of here. Am
You
I
gotta
the
say
dumb
it
one?
like a New
And it's-
Yorker.
Yeah,
And it's
obviously.
And it's all
In the
part of
Bronx.
like it's all like kind of like a skeleton thing.
They can't come
Right.
out of it because they're connected
Yeah,
to it,
no,
but it's shell on the bottom.
Yeah.
My mind is being blown. Why do they attack their bellies when they want to kill them? Is it less defense on the
Yes.
bottom?
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because they can put their head inside.
Yeah.
This is blowing my mind.
Welcome to Spencer Learns Some Real Facts
I'm
About
so
Nature.
stupid. I made such a huge deal about Luciano's idiocy. When I was
I'm
the
really
clown.
glad we-
No, we're both clowns. I said that it's like a barrel that you can take off. I think we're all idiots here.
But they do have.
We've all learned a
tails,
lot today.
so
I have one more question. You do have tails, yeah. I have one more question before we're done here, and it's actually not about Spencer. Surprisingly
Or
enough.
Splinter.
And my lack of
Or
turtle
scumbag.
knowledge.
Spencer Splinter.
I just want to know in the scene where that gang that Superfly hires, they acquire basically like the accelerator, the last piece of his little machine, and they are trying to run away from the cops, be cool, and not get caught, and they drive by a cop car that's in an alleyway at a high speed, and we're made to believe that the cops chase them because they're going fast. But then 2 turns later, they've set up an entire blockade speed trap to capture this car. And I just want to know how the cops are not efficient at all. They try to avoid doing anything useful for the public. So how did they manage to do this? What was actually going on?
Oh my god. That might be the biggest
Not
stretch
when
of
Rudy
suspension of
Giuliani
disbelief
is in
this
office.
movie.
You see,
The cops acting fast?
Oh,
God, here we go.
Oh
Buckle
no.
in.
He's going on Giuliani again.
Workopolis. See, with budget cuts being
That's it.
what
You're
they
done.
were,
nailed it.
Workopolis, indeed, and monster. Okay, he had to funnel and launder his money somehow. So he, instead of focusing and training up a suitable amount of police officers to serve and protect, nah, he outsourced through these three hiring channels, and what he got was DeVry Institute level hirees. Okay, DeVry. I said DeVry. I said it. They're not around anymore. I said it. Don't do it.
Chris, I just want to check in here.
Yes.
Giuliani hired the DeVry people. Are the DeVry people the criminals stealing things,
Both.
or the
So,
DeVry people the police?
With both.
Okay.
See what's happening?
That's the con.
So
Not
the police
only
was
that,
in
but some
on the
were
plan, so
within
that's how
and
they-
without the plan.
I see.
And so, process that.
just like
Okay,
Chris
well,
is within and
worry
without
about
reality.
fucking
When you
mind.
source DeVry Institute
go with
hirees
it.
and candidates, and you pull them into your officer
Uh-huh.
workforce, you're going to have what we call what we call happy accidents. And so instead of what looks like a coordinated attempt to stop speedsters, no, what you have is a happy accident. They weren't prepared. They're just ready to pull triggers. You know why? Because George Floyd couldn't breathe.
Whoa.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Oh my god!
There you have it, folks. That is clearly the answer. I'm
Does
moving us
anyone
right
have
past
a-
any more. No,
An
no,
answer that's
we're moving
not
right
the
past
ramblings
it.
of a madman.
Spencer,
Sorry.
why don't you tell us?
Thank God.
Why don't you tell us your rating on this movie?
Oh, right to that.
Mhm.
Okay.
yeah, we're
We're
gone.
done. We're
We're done.
okay. I'll
That's
manage.
too many questions.
Yeah,
Heart-
that's on me.
That's on you, man.
Heart
That's
bang.
on you, man.
So we're pivoting
Run
Don't
too
check the
many
temperature on
questions.
to
that one.
reviews.
I like this movie a lot. It was great. Great music, great voice acting. Animation
Yes.
was awesome, obviously. I'm very curious how this movie would have received if it came out before Spider-Verse. Obviously, it was only made because of Spider-Verse, but I'd be curious if it would have been as like a huge cultural. Anyways, really good movie. I don't really have any complaints other than the ones I already mentioned. So I'm going to give this movie a solid B. Because it was really good, and I thought it was quite fresh. So
We're not fucking Rotten Tomatoes, bro.
I'm giving it a fresh.
Yeah.
So,
I
does
just
it, are
realized
you,
I used the
so are
word
you giving it
fresh.
a B or are you
Not-
giving it an F? How fresh is it?
No, it's
Okay.
fresh enough to make a B.
Oh my god.
I regret everything, and I wasn't even in the
Get him.
conversation.
Well, you're in the conversation now. What's your ranking?
And don't steal mine.
I also, well, too bad, but I also enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I don't think it was meant for
Speak for
old
thyself.
farts like us, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit. And I actually I like the art style. I wasn't too fond of the animation style. This in the beginning, I got used to it later. I loved the little jokes. I loved the little quips, like you said, Spencer. The whole having them talk over each other. Normally, that's annoying in movies, but here it kind of made a whole lot of sense. It was, I love the voice acting, and just I don't think the plot little problems that we talked about really take much away from it. I don't know if I would watch it again, but I had a lot of fun, so it's a B for me.
Oh,
Rip off.
okay.
Chris.
Plagiarist.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you, you motherfucker. What do you
It's
want?
Chris's
Right.
turn to speak.
That may be a
Children.
mistake.
Never. This movie, whether you are a TMNT fan or not, is going to resonate with you for all the right reasons. And Spencer hit a lot of great points. And what I loved about this movie was that it took a step in a really bold direction through the lens of acceptance, and then like letting them get to the other side and actualizing their dream and going to high school. We've never had that before, ever. So I want to hold space
true.
for like that. That's a pretty brave choice. and it gives them a direction and options that we've never had before. I've said that. So everything that Spencer said with respect to like the positives, I agree with. The music was fucking banging. The family dynamic with Splinter being dad and the brothers having their own thing, their own moments, I loved. For me, this I would watch again. It's an A for me.
Well, I think this is the first time that what you said in your rating made sense together.
Wow.
Good job.
Are you okay? Did you
No,
hit your head?
I watched this movie and it made me feel very good.
Hey, let's not attack our it's yes and people, not
Fuck you.
what the fuck.
Counted on you to play your role.
No. I'm paying a compliment. It might not sound like it, but it was a compliment.
It's yes and not
I
no.
don't know how we're friends with those compliments. I liked this movie. I thought it was really well done. For the first 10 minutes, it felt a lot like Into the Spider-Verse. And luckily, after those first 10 minutes, it diverged nicely and did its own thing. I agree with Chris. It's nice to see. It's nice to see them create a world that feels like actual people live in, right? Like Baxter Stockman being black, April O'Neil reverting back to being black. All the different New Yorkers you see in the movie, the different flavors of people, even the gang, of the family. There's all sorts of different, all the cameos aside, there's all sorts of different people and animals, but represented by different cultures through the whole thing, right? So it makes it fun. It makes it a world that feels lived in. And I thought the original story was nice to see. I had no idea it was original, but I think it's a great way to make a fun story that it's nice to get away from canon and not always be like looking at it. Well, that's not the way they did it in the movies
Is that
the
old man
comics.
Luciano?
Actually,
Is that old Bane?
Actually, I was born in the darkness.
That's not canon. It changed my childhood.
And so it was good to see that stuff. I thought the last quarter of it was a little weak, and it's not weak, but it's just like it got crazily hokey. It felt like they really wanted to get them to high school, and they could have landed the plane better instead of making everybody love the turtles instantly because they were fighting a monster. Like the turtles could have earned it at the end, like we talked about. So that's my only real complaint about it. And then, so for all those reasons, I'm putting it solidly in the B camp. I thought it was a fun movie. I would watch it again. But there's my answer. Fish pulps.
I know we're wrapping up. I just want to ask: Did this movie do well? Is it getting a sequel?
And apparently, it came in fourth place when it premiered. I don't know what the competition was, but it didn't top the box office. But a sequel, I'm reading it here from Screen Rant. TMNT Mutant Mayhem 2 has been confirmed, and discussions about a spin-off show about the series villains have taken place too.
That's interesting.
They know gold when they
exactly.
Because TMNT has had many attempts and versions of itself. So when something takes hold, it's nice to see that they're paying attention.
Also, you have to context to it finishing fourth. It opened on the same weekend as Oppenheimer and Barbie.
That's why.
So
there you go.
A little challenging to be number one. It was all Meg 2, The Trench. So,
that's a little more context.
But yeah, it'd be nice to see another movie. So it'll be good. Speaking of other movies, we are watching another movie next week.
I would really
like
to know.
Like to know what movie we're watching?
It'd be helpful.
Production.
It would be helpful. Okay. We are going to. I guess we're following Jackie Chan around for a little bit. We're gonna watch Hidden Strike, the Jackie Chan and John Cena. John Cena's back too. We're just following John Cena and Jackie Chan around. We're watching the John Cena Jackie Chan vehicle. It's an action movie about fighting over oil, so real topical.
Oh my god! Okay, I have to say I don't have high hopes for another.
Wow,
from me, I'm just gonna say
go with an open mind.
Yeah.
No, why?
Oh,
I was born in 1871. I don't have an open mind.
You should be be into oil.
My mind is dust.
True.
Yeah.
If they save the oil, I'll like it.
Okay, fair enough. So next week, Hidden Strike. on Netflix. John Cena,
The great,
Jackie Chan.
the goat. Jackie
Watch it.
Chan.
And tune in.
Before we talk about
And
it,
tune in.
and tune in to this pre-recorded
Tune in
podcast you listen to in your ears.
Tune in live to
Tune
this
in
here
live,
podcast.
however
Tune
many
in
weeks
live
from
to
today.
this here
Live.
podcast. Tune in to this live fucking podcast. Foreigners doing good shit.